Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Still morning? It's not even noon yet.
I'm actually up early. It's like I was going to go down to my storage unit and start vacuuming it out and blowing it out.
That's a good idea. It's a good day to
It's
do
fucking
it.
11 years of crud. Think about that. I mean,
Yeah, you got your work cut out for you on that. That's for darn sure.
Don't tell me that. I thought,
Wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah.
We saw nipple. That's it. This is going to be recorded and taken down.
Probably. Didn't you say that you had a new theme song you were going to incorporate?
A new what?
Theme song.
No.
No.
Now, there is a full version of the theme song, but I'm waiting. Shane Smith. I'm not blowing anonymity because he's just a friend. He's also my producer. He produces a lot of my stuff. Well, he used to. I'm just waiting for him to get his studio back up, and we're going to go back in and do the full length song. So, but that song was written and performed by she was 17 at the time. It was done by my niece.
That's a good song. I like it, but
you should hear the full version. Everybody cries when they hear the full version. They do. Welcome to Daily Trudge. We got a new plan on a recovery residence. I refuse to call them sober living. If you're here, but it's not a sober living in the sense that it's sober living. So we're going to stick with residents. But if you're here, please say hello whether watching the live or the replay.
Yes, please do.
Please say hello. But sometimes people join while they're driving. Like right now, there's somebody on YouTube, and I guarantee that it's Amber, and she's either busy or driving, and she will text when she can. I think she said she was driving. She was talking to me about the sign-up sheet, and I wrote her back, and I said, yeah, Daryl and I kind of talked about that, and you're right. I need to give a little bit of direction, or people aren't going to sign up and shit. Hello. Same as it ever was. Same as it was like
just because you know it doesn't matter what we know.
Yeah, right. That's right. I tend to forget that people don't know what I know, and I don't know what they know.
It's kind of like Karnak. Let me try to think of it. You know, I mean, some people, maybe such as myself to some extent, it's like we don't even know what questions to ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like, that's what's great about the book Living Sober, is it actually gives you the questions that you need to ask yourself too. I highly recommend Living Sober. In fact, I need to put that on the list for things that
I've got it somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was one of those that I've done so many moves, man. My shit is not all in one sock anymore.
Yeah. Multiple socks.
I've got a drawer full.
I always throw out my singles. I can't stand it. Can't stand it. Drives you nuts.
Well, I hate orphans. It drives me nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's somewhere. There's a big pile of socks on Mars, probably.
Right. Where everybody lost a sock.
Yeah. Amber put up this post about why you sleep with your feet covered, and there's this demon reaching up, like getting ready to touch your foot. Right. And I'm like, why miss out on a foot massage? Fun stuff.
So I keep my feet uncovered.
Yeah. My feet are never covered because that's where most of my heat comes from. Most
Yep.
heat comes from your feet and the
Yep.
top of your head.
If my feet are uncomfortable, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah. I have 3 fans going. I have 2 ceiling fans and then a regular fan on me. I've got to be cold so I can be warm. It's just a comfort thing. It's a comfort thing.
Yeah, I could probably do that too. My wife would just have a heart attack, but so I don't.
Hmm.
But I'm that guy. It's like I'll turn on the AC and cover up with a heavy blanket.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Open the window in the dead of winter.
yeah, that won't
So,
work.
yeah. So, yeah, even though, what's the best way to start this?
Get started.
So,
We did
we,
like we
uh,
did.
we were looking at, sorry, there's just a lot of noise happening. Make sure it isn't a cat fight. Okay. So what we were looking at in the beginning here was working with homeless alcoholics, and what we're running into is a money problem. So in order to get that money problem solved, what we're going to do is we're actually going to open a recovery residence for, and it's going to be men's, and here's why. It is because of logistics. I just don't have the people I need to cover a woman's house. I don't have the people, but I do have the men, and we got to start somewhere. And I can't keep sitting on my hands. So we're gonna open. We're gonna go ahead and start looking for a house, and we're gonna open a recovery residence. Um, we have ties to certain places starting next week, so we don't have to worry about where we're gonna get our people. Heck, I can go to Denver Cares. Um,
I have a good friend that is a
we'll get to that, Amber.
CAC there, but
Yeah. Well, see, a lot of the same stuff is still going to apply. If this person doesn't have a job, we have jobs for them. But in the beginning, what it's going to be, and we still have IOP, we'll have access to IOP, recovery coaches. I already got recovery coaches. That part's not hard. So a lot of this will just be helping these guys stay focused on their recovery and getting it started. And then we're going to take that money. What we're going to do is we're going to get it going. And then as these folks start to move out, we're going to start replacing them with the homeless and change it into what we're talking about. That's the plan right now, but even that might change. We might be like, okay, this house is going really well. Maybe we just need to get another house. We have the money for another house, and this one will be homeless, right? And then we get that going. And then this one is going to be, men and women, right? So then we open the women's homeless. But what about vets? What about LGBTQ? And we can start creating these lanes for people. And what it does is it brings up their chances to recover. That's all we're doing. We're just adding everything we can to give them the best shot. We can't get it to 100%, but we can make those chances higher. I think that's a good route to go.
I agree.
Hi, Ingrid.
Hi, Ingrid.
So yeah, we're gonna just start with a plain, and get it started. I'm still gonna look in North. I'm probably going to look for. What I'm gonna do is look for a house that's kind of crappy. I mean, because the way part of this is the neighborhood, right? And Daryl and I were talking about this. Yeah, just to get it going.
It's just
I appreciate your support on that.
the reason that we shifted gears is because that is what is available to get us going in some traction.
Yeah. We don't need
It's
a lot
not
of
because
money.
we're just poo-pooing what we all discussed before.
Yeah.
We're not. The quote unquote logistics of it, the reality of it is we have these guys available
Mhm.
to start off with.
Yeah.
And
And that'll
if
help
we,
us get to that need.
yeah, and well,
Yeah.
one of the needs was where do we put them?
Yeah.
And we have the people to put in there, and we just need somewhere to fucking start,
Yeah.
and then stub our
Put it in
toes along the
everybody.
way or whatever. But
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, I will be the main person there. I will be at that. This is my plan. I
another
will be at the house
discussion.
pretty much all day. That's where I'll be doing my podcasting there. I'll pretty much be working from the house like I do here. I won't have an office because we need it for rooms. Hang out in the garage. It don't fucking matter. I don't care what my background looks like. So but yeah, I probably will be the main person. Um One of the main things that we'll need to look for is
Have a
is
good day, Amber.
if Tyler was not in a relationship and working at Target, he would be perfect for a house manager. But but we need that guy that's like in his 50s that's getting and he's got time, and or maybe working part-time or something like that. Maybe somebody on disability, because the house manager, I don't know that they're going to live there for free, but there will be a big discount. Yes, there will. Or if that person needs to be there all the time, then we need to make sure it's okay. But in the beginning, yeah, it's going to be a little weird.
So just to bring some of the people in on what we discussed privately a little bit was the sticking point right at first was we can't even get a spaghetti dinner going
Yeah.
type of deal. And it was like, because it's like, okay, so where are we going to cook spaghetti? I mean, just to throw that out there. And it
Yeah.
was like, what if we had the place and we did it like my vision was like, how about like an open house? Hi guys, we're here. Say hi to the neighborhood and throw a fucking spaghetti dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. Burgers on a grill,
Yeah.
whatever type
Yeah.
of deal.
We have an
And
open house instead.
and then get it rolling that way. That was
Yeah.
just
And the people
that was-
living there are the ones that cook the spaghetti dinner.
yes.
And then when we have 4 or 5 houses, then we can utilize a church or a meeting hall or whatever, and then we bring them all together.
Community.
Maybe
A
that's where
community
it
space.
comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find a place that's a community meeting place. So, yeah, I think this is I think it's a really good
Well,
idea.
it's a starting point with a solid base.
Yeah, yeah, and it gives us all some direction. The boring hard parts are over with. So that part is there's still some more boring hard parts, but I can get it done in a few hours at this point.
And Dion made a point. Dion made a point when we were talking, and I'm just going to throw this out there, so that you guys everybody that sees this kind of has an understanding. Dion's been doing this internally for over 4 years. We haven't. And so I'm gonna point up because you're above me in my screen.
I'm up here. Oh.
So we're going to and I told him, I said, be the trainer.
That way I'm not above you anymore.
You already have a template in your head. We don't.
Yeah.
And so we need the template so that we can experience the template. And once we do that then we can take on more roles and we kind of know what's expected. And I hate to use that word, but expectation, but we know the logistics better.
Yeah. But because here's the thing, everybody that I've asked to be a part of, I trust your instincts. I trust your intuition. I trust your intentions. That's what I'm going for.
There you go.
But what it was is, Yeah, I was just throwing it out there like, well, Dion, this is your baby, and we don't want to fuck with it. And I wasn't giving any direction because I was like, well, I don't want to micromanage, and people don't want to. But that's just, that was me. It was pride in reverse, and it is time for me to stand up and take the role that I'm supposed to take. But if I get, you know
At
what,
least,
I don't even
at
need to
least
say
take
that.
that
Maybe I'm
role
gonna
at
make sure that I'm
first
good.
until, as a manager, I used to train people to take my job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I had too much ego I hated managers that were micromanagers because they were afraid that they would lose their job to the person they were training.
Mm. And I love free will. Like if you're an artist, they're like, well, what kind of concept? I'm like, I have a concept. I draw stick figures. So, but I need to be a little bit better with direction in what I'm doing and things like that.
Right.
So
This
it's
this
time
is
for me
this
to
is the
get it out
path.
of my head and on paper, so
This
everybody
is
else can see it.
this is the path, but it might be this wide as we get going.
Yeah.
There's a lot of space in between that gets filled in.
Hmm.
So however that goes, the issue is we got to do it once
Yeah.
before we can do it twice.
Once we do it once and we get some trust with a landlord, it's just game on after that. Because we're going to put proof in the pudding, like we were talking about earlier. The neighborhood. We will be the neighborhood watch. You are not going to mess with our neighbors, and we want our neighbors to feel safe because
Right.
alcoholics and addicts are not safe. We're not unaccountable, doing our own thing. We're
Not,
not safe.
not to become the guardian angels.
No, we're not.
Nobody gonna walk around with red berets.
No way to do that. But if that's why I wouldn't mind moving into an older neighborhood because there's people that are a little bit older there, and we can help the neighborhood instead. If we're living next to an older person, we're going to be taking out their trash. We're going to be shoveling their walks. We're going to be mowing their lawn. And we ain't going to ask for anything because they were nice enough to let us live there.
Yep. Yep.
So instead of invading a neighborhood, we're going to go ask.
We're going to assimilate.
There you go. Yeah. Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile.
We are the board. I
But we're going to be assimilated versus assimilating them to.
Yeah.
It's going to be cohabitational.
Yeah, we're going to become upstanding members of society, just like we're
Right.
supposed to be. We're supposed to be the example, and
We're
we do
supposed
have
to
the
be.
power to change whole neighborhoods and whole communities.
We want to be an asset, not a deficit.
Yeah, I want people to be like, you know what? This is the kind of reviews I'd like to see. I thought that them moving next to us was going to be a shit show, but wow, what they have done has been great. That's what I want to hear. That they thought this is what it was going to be, but that's not what happened.
If we run into a place that's not in full repair, so we fix up our place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we do. Because it's all about helping the next person. It doesn't. Sure, alcoholics are our main thing, but when we're in a group together, then we're taken care of. We can move mountains. We can.
We just got to show that we're an asset. Bottom line, we're not going to be a threat.
And that's why I need to take all of this, and what I need to do is I need to put it into layman's terms and explain so that I have a piece of paper to hand people and say, this is what we're about. And, just a quick overview of what we are, and what our intentions are. I think being transparent about everything is the number one way to go.
Well, if we have that structure in place, then we become accountable to that structure.
Yes.
If we're not doing this, somebody in the neighborhood needs to tell us we're not doing something.
Yeah.
And be open to listen to that.
Yeah.
Not saying, no, you're an asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
This is the way I see it. These people bought their house, they went out, worked their asses off, got degrees or whatever they did to buy that house. It is not for, maybe they've been living there for 30 years. It's not for me to invade their neighborhood. It's for
Exactly.
me
We
to
don't
come in
want to
and
be
make it
invaders.
better. Yeah.
You know,
I do the
we're not
same
the
thing right here.
we're not the occupational group.
Correct. Yeah. We are, we, well, just like, tradition one, the theme is sacrifice, and we're going to have to sacrifice some things to be a part of. Because isn't that really what we've been trying to be all of our lives? It wasn't the alcohol. We were just trying to fucking fit in, and the alcohol helped us do that.
Well,
Didn't know it didn't
and
anymore.
like me, I didn't think I wanted to fit in, and then I got my hug.
Yeah. Well, you found a place where you did finally want to fit in. Yeah.
Right.
Because people understood. Yeah. That's the power of the 12 steps. I'm not even say AA because there's way too many 12 steps out there that do the same thing for people with other addictions. You bet.
I mean, the whole emphasis is we just want to help people.
Yeah. That's all
That's
we're just
the
trying to
full
make
intent.
things a little bit better. We're planting trees of which we will never sit in the shade. That's what we are doing.
There it is.
Yeah. Because there were people that were before me. Because I'm sitting under a tree of people that planted it, 30 years ago. So I've got to plant the tree so it continues moving forward. And I want this stuff to be here for my grandkids because I got 5 of them and I already know 2 of them are on their way. Because they act like me when I was a kid. That's my indicator. They've got that I do whatever the fuck I want to kind of attitude. Bad attention, better than no attention kind of a thing. Still great kids, just they're different.
Right.
And I'm proud of my kids because they're not going to take them to a doctor and they're going to be like, oh, he has ADHD. Let's put him on something. No, nope. They run him ragged. I can hear him all day. It's just who he is. So. Till I go to bed. I had to change my bedroom. Because we have a full basement, and so there's a living room, and we actually sleep in the living room because their living room is right above it. Yeah, and it's just he's a kid. I'm not gonna be. You need to be quiet. Come on. Of course, he's loud like me too. So is my son.
Which will not be the rule in the sober living house.
No, nope.
You are not going to be disruptive.
No, you can't be. It's part of the house rules, actually.
Right.
Yeah. Even the rule in the resident handbook, there's even the consequences portion. I need to change it. But now I do need to go in and figure out charging and things like that. So my next thing to do is just sit down and do a list of what else I need to get done to open recovery residence. And there's not much left to do. There isn't. Mostly it's finding a location. That's probably the biggest part right now. But I have a few things that I'm going to do to see if we can find one. So, but this is where my sales skills come into, because I can do an elevator pitch on Hayworth House easy. So, yeah.
Or do you want to do a funnel? Got all of this, and it's coming down to one mission.
Yeah. And like I was telling you earlier, it's going to take some. I'm going to just be transparent. So I'm going to need to raise probably, I don't know, a couple $1,000 to get this thing going because you got to pay your first month's rent and things like that. After that, we don't really have to worry about it. So I'm either going to go out and take a personal loan, or there's several people that I know that have money, and I may guilt them into helping me. So there's one guy, he's retired now, but he ran the second largest check conversion company in the world. And I helped him sue somebody else for $7 million. And I think I think 5,000 is fair out of that. Actually, he told me at one point, he said, when I get that $7 million, your bonus will be in the six figures. But he doesn't remember it because he had a brain tumor. So I can't hold him to it either. And I didn't believe him at the time because he didn't do things like that. So, but yeah, that and his sons he has two sons in recovery, and now he lives in Colorado. And, I was there when all that stuff happened. So who knows? 5,000 is a drop in the bucket for him. And if he wants I could make it easy for him. I can just have him donate it to Henderson Community Church, who gives it to me, and then he can have a receipt too. See, there's a lot of different ways that I can work this and get that money up. I wanted to do it by fundraising because I wanted it to be a community thing, but until that house is open, I just don't know that that's gonna. People are like, I'm gonna fundraise for something that doesn't exist yet. Not feeling.
Which people do, but I just think it's more difficult if we actually have a place and we actually have like an open house. People see that it's actually there, and it's like we need help.
When they know that I put in my, I went and got a personal loan to get it. Well, Dion's doing this. I can add, I can help with a little bit too. So, because if I fundraise before the house, what they're donating to is that they trust Dion. That's what they're donating to, right? And in this field right now, people are very particular on who they're giving to. Not only that, but Colorado Gives Day, which is, I think, horrendous, is coming up.
You have visions of tent cities, and I mean, all you got to do is drive downtown one time, and you'll see street people living, and people will flash back to City Park when they took them out of there, and it was just infested with rats and blah blah blah, and that's what people think.
Yeah,
because that's what they saw visually on TV, blah blah blah, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that way.
Yeah, that's why the transformation is so amazing. When really all they did was got a haircut and shaved and took a shower.
Right. And took a shower.
Oh, like you get to do conveniently every day, and you don't think about it. See,
right?
When people do these sleep outs and stuff, it irritates me because like you have no idea what it's like you're going to go out with your blankets and your favorite pillow, and no, if you want to do that, you take nothing, including your phone, your wallet, your keys, nothing. I'll let you take your cigarettes, but that's it.
Your $3,500 REI 6-man tent with eaves and blah 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 awnings and all kinds of crap.
Yeah, and what you're going to do is you're going to sit there and you're going to have a good time with your friends, and this is stigma, and that's stigma.
And the people on the outside looking in are the ones that you're supposed to be helping.
And they're over on the other side of the street freezing their ass off while you got your gloves on and with your little hand warmers in.
Right.
It's the next right thing. Sorry.
It's like I wish I had a picture of my cardboard box and what I was living in. Because there was a neighborhood, there was other cardboard boxes, and there was other structures.
Yeah. At the Phoenix concept, I don't think they replaced it, but across the building was an outward heating vent that came from a building, and people would fight for that fucking spot every day.
Every fucking day.
Fighting because it was the only warm place. Merton was full. Fucking everybody was full.
Good. Jesus saves.
We're shutting down due to the weather. I'm like, you're supposed to be. Oh, this is the exact reason you're supposed to be open.
Why do you think people sleep over vents?
Yeah,
grating because of steam.
Yeah. Now, what people don't know about cardboard is it actually it's got some BTUs to it, so it actually keeps out the weather.
That's why you stuff it with newspaper.
Yep.
And I did exactly that.
Yep. Find yourself a nice like box from a fridge or something. And yeah,
Mine said
you can make a house.
Frigidaire on it, dude.
Yeah. It's like building a fort when you were young, but you're doing it this time to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to fight squatters on my own cardboard box.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing.
Literally
When
fight.
you're on the streets, nothing is yours. You own
Right.
nothing. And
You're shopping.
that's why having your own bed is so important. Okay. When we
You have
have
no
this house,
idea.
if you interfere with somebody else's area, you're gone. Period.
That's the things that people are naive about. They don't realize that nothing is yours.
Yeah.
That feeling of, I got to go out and panhandle today, but I don't know if I'm coming back to my own place.
Because somebody might take it.
Exactly. And they do.
And if it's prime real estate, it's gone. And what are you going to do about it? Call the cops? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a phone. There's no more pay phones for you to dial 911 on anymore. You know? And then what did they do? They put these big fucking rocks wherever they sleep. And now it just looks like a bunch of boulders fell on the fucking sidewalks downtown Denver.
It looks like the moon.
We're doing everything. We spent all that money to keep them from a safe place to sleep when we could have, I don't know, put a roof over their head. Weird. Oh, but there's red tape. You know?
Down in Globeville, they started a tiny home community.
That's what I'd like to get to.
That would be cool.
There's also, because when these people, when these folks leave the transition, they got to go somewhere. It might be sober living. It very much could be sober living. Okay. And there are different expectations. There are more stuff. Okay. But we got to have the right sober livings. They may go on to live in a community. You know, there's plenty of places that are sober communities. So who knows what that transition will look like. I wouldn't mind having an apartment complex, and once you graduate, you get your own apartment. Wouldn't that be cool? You get your own apartment, and then it's a year lease, and then you're going to save up so we can help you, I don't know, buy a house. That's what we're talking about here. That's what that's the end result. If that's what they want to do. They don't want to do that.
I think, I don't know if I want to publicly say that or not.
There ain't enough people that listen to this, Daryl.
Well, maybe. Well, I mean, I think might have been a mistake to mention St. Anthony's off the bat.
No,
because, well, I'm just thinking, it's like, well, why aren't we doing that? Well, we got to get there. I mean, we got to get there.
Yeah. There's a part in the tradition that talks about how they made this big thing and people, and I want to avoid that. So when it comes to the hospital, it's all Aurora Mental Health in Adams County. We have very major influence on what to put in there. Yes, we do. How that relationship's going to end up looking, though.
Yeah, because when you first mentioned that, I was thinking it was like, oh, we get to fucking run the place.
No.
That's why I'm saying it's like, so do we get different floors and they get to graduate to another floor, level of care or level of uncare, hopefully?
I don't think what I want is anybody like living there for a certain amount of time.
I'm just saying, I'm telling you what my brain went with.
Sure, it does.
You got detox on this level. You got, rehab on this level. You've got sober living on this level because that's what you graduated to. You get to go to 4th floor. Yay! Yeah. Type shit. So,
and who knows what the plan is with Aurora Mental Health, because Right
Exactly.
now, between Mississippi and Isla, you know all those buildings there off
Oh
220?
my God, yeah.
They're tearing those down right now, and they're putting in a new campus. Aurora Mental Health has a big campus coming. And at one point, I was going to have a resource center on the campus, and they were working with me on this. So St. Anthony's North is going to be that resource center. You bet. We will be doing a lot with that place. You bet. Because you gotta remember that we need doctors, we need recovery coaches, we need peer support specialists, we need, Medicaid, we need all these different things. If we put it in one area, yeah. So what we do is we tell Aurora Mental Health what we would think would be the best situation, and we let them do the work. That's their job. They're getting paid for it. They ain't paying it. Because I've already told them 2-3 times, I'm like, we cannot continue forward like this without you paying me. I've told them that. And I'm going to talk about it again on Tuesday. But if I'm going to help put together these things for you and it's on my time and I'm driving around flyering, yeah, you're going to pay me. And don't tell me you don't have the money. They just gave you $2.2 million. You can give me $40 an hour, okay? See, I don't know where the money is. So, hey, if you don't ask, they always avoid it, but I'll keep bringing it up. So at one point, they'll turn around and say, yeah, but there's got to be something worth. So.
Anyway, the whole concept of this live was to just put it out there and the brainstorm. The storm changed within the brain.
Yeah. Changing the brain.
Yeah. So it's just a different path to get to the same place.
Exactly. Yeah. And this path looks a lot more, as far as logistics go, doable.
Exactly.
And then what happened? We get that house, and then the women be like, "Oh, we want to. Okay, great. Let's open this house now." And we just, bam, do it.
The need is there. We will do that, and we just you gotta take the first step. Yeah. It's the old a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And we're on a long ass fucking journey, folks.
Yeah. This is the beginning of probably about 10 more years of work.
Wouldn't that be cool if we became the model for other places? I know.
Yeah, it's exactly what leadership by example is the only way I can do it.
Well, you need to write that one down and remember it. Because I will remind you.
It's our motto. It's our mantra.
I understand, but that was our whole conversation, mine and yours.
Yeah, I know.
In a nutshell,
step into that role and
yes, you do,
and just step into the role, even though it's scary and I haven't done it before. And yeah, I got to do it. So today I'm going to finish buttoning up what we're going to need for it. And then hopefully if I get that done today, then tomorrow I'm going to be looking for a location. Wouldn't a great Christmas present be for a lot of people to know that their family was safe? And wouldn't that be a great Christmas present for some people?
That would be pretty cool.
To know that there'll be 8 families out there knowing that their husband, that their little boy, that their favorite uncle is safe and trying to get their life back together. I think that's pretty fucking cool. So now I have a new challenge. And I got about a month to do it. But this is a lot. Where we were here, now we're here. So
I think we went from here to here, back to here a little bit.
Yeah. Well, now we see the end result a little bit better because we came back to here and simplified it. That's what I hear you say.
We just need to say, this is the direction, this is what it is, and we're not going to deviate from this point now.
Yep, exactly. So,
that's just my opinion. I just speak my opinion, brother.
Oh, well, you said you want to help, and yeah, your opinion counts here.
Well, you know what? And that was the way life was for a long time. Bullshit.
So the big thing that I need to do today would be I need to work on the money aspect. And I need to get that figured out. That should probably take me about 2 hours to do. So
Yeah, I gotta go get filthy dirty.
all right. Yeah, get it done. Let's get the hard stuff done today.
And
that we
talk
can
about
enjoy.
procrastinating shit. But it's like it's happening Saturday, and I've got to get ready for it.
You don't have a choice. Yeah, next week is going to be really bad.
Speaking of money, my credit card is going to go with this move.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's like I'm sitting here procrastinating on something that's going to save me hundreds of dollars a month. Why am I doing that, Nia?
Well, you're used to spending the $100 a month.
Well, no, hundreds of dollars.
Huh?
Hundreds of dollars. That's storage. Two storage facilities have cost me. It's $500 a month about.
Jesus,
for
dude.
Well, the big one, the 10 by 20, is $377, and the other one is $99.
Yeah.
And I'd had that one for 11 motherfucking years.
Yeah, you'd save that money up, go get you a new car.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother story.
I'm sorry, I should have brought that up.
No, it's always there, bro.
Just junk the fucking thing.
Well, if I wasn't $18,000 into it.
Well, it's just sitting there.
For a car that doesn't run. I'm not talking about my Jeep. That's another story.
I know. So I have a car guy. He's pretty good. He's in Wheat Ridge. My wife's been using him and she runs a courier service. So that's how, yeah. So just letting you know, I know a trusted mechanic if you need it. So
yeah, and I got a couple of those too, but yes, I appreciate that. But it's like this car that was Ashley's, first she paid the lease on it for 39 months. Then there was the buyout of the lease.
Okay.
Then there was the transmission went out after warranty. And then three trips with that. Once we got the transmission in it, 3 trips, and it stranded me on I-25 at Highway 7 just about. And Ford wanted $12,000. And I ended up finding a mechanic who ended up losing his lease on his place, so I had to get another mechanic. That one cost me $6,250 supposedly to fix that engine, and I drove it again twice, and the engine went again.
Yeah.
So, I'm $30,000 plus, not counting the lease payments, into this car, and it doesn't run and hasn't for 2 years. Over.
Nah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean just to vent, but it was like that's what I'm looking at.
Like I said, I didn't mean to re-traumatize you.
And then PTSD over a fucking car.
It's not the car; it's the process of the car, and it not getting it done is the trauma on it.
Well, it is the trauma, and it's like at this point, the guy that actually in this warranty work, he's supposed to work it. He ran into financial difficulties in a divorce, so I can go after him in small claims, but all he's got to do is bankruptcy.
Yep.
So what do? I don't know, man. One car place told me, because I was looking at a new car. One place told me that we'll give you $2,000 for that car as is, and I'm thinking, maybe I'll do that just to get rid of the headache. I don't know, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But then I take on a car payment. But whatever. At least it'll be under warranty.
And you had the $500 to do it.
Yeah. And I got that to do it. So anyway.
All right.
Moving on.
I'm going to get to work, so there'll be some updates coming up. But this next thing I'm going to do is I'm working on my next thing's money. Money and a one-page thing to let people know
Flowchart.
what we're doing. So. All right.
One of those like you see in corporate structures. This is the top, and then it fingers down into this shit.
Yep. That's what I
Flow
got it
chart.
right. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I've already got most of that done. I just need to
I'm
change
sure.
the verbiage on it. Yeah.
Anyway,
So
just
I've got all sorts of stuff.
all right, brother.
All right. Love you. Thanks for
Love
working
you,
through
man.
this with me. Peace out.
We will continue to do so.
Yeah. Have a